Hey there, and welcome to yet another one of my cheesy YouTube videos. Today I'm going to change out the transmission and hydraulic filters on my old John Deere 401D industrial loader. Agriculture applications, some of them are very similar. So both transmission and hydraulic use the same filter. Just a canister cartridge type of deal that goes inside there. There's a couple seals in here. Don't forget to change out your seals. They're giving me two choices on size. There should be a check valve in there that should stop the fluid in the transmission case, which is your hydraulic reservoir also. But the check valve should keep the oil inside the housing from just pouring out when you pull the filter. Okay, I'm sitting underneath the tractor. On the right hand side, on my particular tractor, I've got two filters. One is a horizontally mounted filter. It's in this housing right here. The other one's a vertically mounted filter, and it's back here in this housing. They both change out pretty much the same though. First thing I did before I turned my camera on is I took some compressed air, and from up top I just blew around trying to knock any debris that has any chance of falling into a housing and being trapped inside of the system. I've got my little catch pan. I've cleaned my catch pan out. It's always good to clean your catch pan so that perhaps you can examine the fluid, especially if you're changing out your filter because you're troubleshooting something. But we'll start with the transmission filter. This back vertically mounted one is the transmission filter. Now on some tractors there's a suction screen inside of the housing that you can access from the side of the transmission case, and I've looked all over the internet. I don't see where this tractor has one. I'm getting some fluid rushing through here now. Try to keep my wrench clean. I try to keep everything clean. On my videos, a lot of times you'll see, well, all the time you'll see me looking kind of rough. I do that on purpose. It's the image I want to give. It's in contrast to a lot of the videos you see on YouTube where the mechanic is spick and span and wearing gloves and his tools look like they're just as shiny and pretty as can be. I've been working in mechanic shops my whole life, and I've never seen that. My son, one of my sons is a mechanic. He's also a lawyer. He's a lawyer and also has a heavy equipment business. He spends more time dirty than anything. Here's a filter. I'll look inside the housing here. There's a little bit of stuff in the housing. Really not. The housing doesn't look bad at all. Hopefully you can see that. I haven't never had any evidence of a problem with my fluid or a problem indicating that there's something failing inside there, like something metal coming apart. I've never had any evidence like that on this tractor. Now, like I said, you got to change out the seal. I'm about to go get a screwdriver, pop this little rubber seal out of here. Here's the seal. I need to match, or the gasket, just a big square O-ring. To match it up with the gaskets and find which gasket in the kit is the same one. This appears to be the same. So I'll set this gasket up in here. There's a little, I might have to go get some grease, put on the gasket to stick it in there to hold it in place until the, well actually, it should sit right here on this housing. I'm able to set the gasket on the edge of this housing. Hold my tongue right and everything work right. It shouldn't be a problem. Set your filter back in there and shove her up in there. I'm going to spin the whole housing up first here as I get the bolt started. When the gasket draws down, I should be able to just turn that wrench. And I'm surprised there wasn't a small seal or anything go on the back of this bolt. And make sure that gasket don't fall out of place. That would be a problem. That's a very clean filter. Like I said, we could cut that filter open and maybe we will. All right, now it's starting to draw the housing in. Make sure I don't see any gasket hanging out the edge to where it's popped loose. I don't see it. It's kind of squaring up. That kind of bothers me. Okay, I'm gonna call that one good. Move my drip pan over here. Go to the second filter. 2 filters, one for each system, transmission and hydraulic, but they're both pulling from the same reservoir, so could have got away with 1 filter for both systems probably. That's the way John Deere designed it. And this inlet hose goes right to that housing, so if there was a screen, it'd have to be accessible through here or straight across from it, but I did not see a screen. There it goes. It's going to be the same thing, same filter. Housing is actually cleaner than the other one. Pull my gasket out. Try the wider one. My housing, make sure nothing's falling in it. It's clean to me. See if we can get this bolt started. And I'll top off my hydraulic system, and I've got some work to do to my brakes. This tractor's never had any brakes. You had to pump them up to get them to work, and then they'd work a few minutes. And actually, like I said, I don't use the tractor, so I never bothered to try to fix it. I'm a big fan of service manuals, and I've never had the service manual for this John Deere, so that has prevented me or held me back from attempting to do any real repairs on it. I am a huge fan of following the service manual and doing what the manufacturer says. And I just never wanted to spend the money to buy a factory service manual for this tractor. But my PTO's never worked. I mean, it works, but it's always on or always off, so it's really hard to engage a mower with the tractor running. And I'm drawing down on it now. So there you have it. I've showed you how to change the filters. They're just pretty easy to do. Your tractor may have a screen inside the transmission. Do some research and see if there is. Never hurts to pull that screen and check it out. And then I will top off the hydraulic oil in it, and my tractor should be ready to go back in service. But like I said, while I'm messing with it, I'm going to try to get these brakes to work. And just a note on the brakes reservoir is the same as the transmission also. Thank you for watching my video. Remember, if you love life and learning new things, go aimless.com. Hey, just a quick note. The transmission filter, the one that mounted vertically, went up straight up into there. It leaked when I started it. Took it back off, and I used grease. I put a little bit of grease on the seal itself and let the seal, stuck the seal up inside the housing of the transmission, and then screwed the outer shell back on. And it's not leaking now, so perhaps that might be the way to go for that.